Hello, everybody. My name is Lewis Lee, and this is Planet Traffic. Like I say, we do this every Thursday night at 9 o'clock Eastern, and we talk about cars, boats, trucks, and anything you put gas in. We got my man Gill tonight. And listen, before we start, I want to say how amazing Gill's shop is. I stopped there, last year, and he treated me like a super guest and let me stay there in my bus in his parking lot. And I appreciate it. But man, his shop is incredible. Ray, you got to go check him out.
Yeah, we were actually planning to get up there that last event, and
Yeah.
my buddy has got the Lincoln. And then, at the last minute, the wheels fall off the bus, things happen, and that's life.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, it's always on our list.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think Ray. I don't think you can use that term anymore. You're gonna make
Yeah, no,
yeah, there will fall off.
Yeah, you can't say wheels fall off the bus anymore. You gotta watch out.
not for Lewis. For Lewis, we want
All
him
right.
staying on. Yeah, it's my personal
All right.
figurative bus.
So,
It's like, I want to see the world's largest wall of thread. I mean, I can't
Oh.
wait to see.
yeah,
Gee.
I was very excited about the wall of thread.
Yeah.
One day when I grow up, I'm going to get the wall just like that.
The best part about that wall is it's organized left to right based on the thread chart. So if you need a thread, you look at the chart, you know exactly what row and what number it is.
So how is that organized? Is that by
So
weight,
so
color,
uh,
what?
so Sarafil, the thread company, gives you a chart. They send you a chart with all the colors, and if it's like really pale yellow all the way to like a bright yellow, and then same thing with orange, and all the colors are kind of like laid out based on the intensity of the color.
Okay.
So, and that's how we laid out the wall. We took the chart, we laid it sideways, and we went across the wall. So that way, it
Smart.
just
Yeah,
makes it
pretty cool.
faster to find the thread because we use a lot of relicate leather.
Okay.
So when you use relicate on the back of the swatch, it tells you the name of the color, and it also tells you the corresponding thread that matches it.
Okay.
So we use that as well.
So I know everybody always asks how many spools you have, so we won't ask that. But how big are the spools in yards or cubic or
They're small. They're like the smaller ones are like 4 ounce, 4 or 8. You get the smaller spools. They're not super.
okay.
They're not the big large spools that you use. See that what's that 16, right?
Uh, 1 pound.
1 pound. So yeah, so you're talking. So that's 16 ounces, right? So the smaller
Yeah.
ones you use like a 4 ounce or 8 ounce, um, and it's fine. That those are bigger spools are great. We have the bigger ones when we have gray, like a tan color, white, black. So the colors you tend to use a lot because not every stitch. You got to remember that the big wall of thread is meant for your top stitch,
Mhm.
which it's the smallest amount of thread you use,
Right.
right? So everything gets put together, and then you do your decorative stitch on top, and that's where those threads come into play. So
Right.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah, nice shop, man.
Yeah, I guess
mean,
I just pictured these garbage can size. I'm sorry, Lewis. Go on.
I was going to say that
I stepped on you, Lewis. Go ahead.
he took me on a tour, and everybody there was, well, first off, everybody there was nice, real courtesy and just, great people around them. And I believe that's a big part of his success is having the right people around him.
Yeah.
And so, we take a tour through, me and my wife take a tour, and just top notch everything, like the cars, the machinery, the sewing machines, everything was just lined up right. I've been in a lot of shops, and this shop is really put together.
thank you, I appreciate that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's nice.
and the shop has gotten bigger since you were there. So
Yeah. So the back part of it is now open.
yeah, so we just took over another 3,000 square feet. So
Wow, that's great.
Wow.
and that's officially our paint shop. So
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I like. Yeah. No,
good.
I like to hear that. That means business is good.
yeah, I mean, right now we currently have a 3-year waiting list to start our project. So
Mm,
Right.
that's great. That's great.
I have a 3-year waiting list to try and finish a project.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, we pretty much will have about 15 cars going at once. So in different stages, you'll
Wow.
have like 5 that are almost finished, 5 that are kind of midway through, and then 5 that are in the early stages. And that's, we just kind of move them, rotate them through the shop that way. You know,
How big is your staff?
there's 14 of us all together. So
All right, so almost one per car. Yeah, okay. That's wow. That's yeah. And I'm sure that's a lot of those guys are specialized, probably guys and girls are specialized. in
yeah,
what they
so
do.
mechanical, I have 3 to 4, depending on how you define mechanical. In the metal body shop, there's 3 guys there, and then interior upholstery, you got 3, and then you got fabricators that do all the kind of the underneath work that gets covered. They do all the fabrication, whether it's using the laser machine or the 3D printer or CNC machine, or just your old-fashioned routers and different tools to fabricate panels or center consoles and things like that. So it's very segmented into how the process happens.
Do you do mostly rebuilding of original seats, or do you use aftermarket seats in some of the cars you do?
I would say it's 50-50. On
How
the
do you
restoration
deal with,
projects, we use the original. So
okay, so how do you deal with, or what problems have you had with the brackets that come with the aftermarket seats? The
So
mounting brackets.
basically, the way you approach it is the only thing you really need is the mechanism that moves the seat forward and backwards, right? So other than that, how it
Okay.
attaches to the car that you've taken it out of doesn't really matter. You fabricate a bracket that's going to work for the car you're putting it in.
You
As long as you
have it.
keep the
Okay. The
tracks
reason I'm asking is I'd put a set of scat touring seats in my car,
Mhm.
and they came with the sliders, but they also gave me a pedestal bracket
Yep.
that would mount to the slider and then mount to the floor of the car. And they're too tall. And everybody I talked to said, yeah, they have the same problem. They're either too low or too tall. I mean, I'm not a big guy, and my head's hitting the ceiling when I got to tuck my head in to get in the car.
Yeah, those are
So-
tough because they give you like these little stanchions and it has like 3 little slots in it, and and they're barely they're like maybe a half-inch apart. Like that's going to make that much of a difference.
Okay. Well, that came off the slider.
Yep.
They face down, and then they mate to the lower bracket, but it's the feet on the lower bracket that are too tall. I have the seats all the way down, the lowest position, and
Yeah.
yet they're too high. So and I really just I know I got to take these things apart. I need to section every single one and like re-weld it. I just don't want to do it. It's just there's 8 of them. I'm just pissed that I have to do it. That's what it is, I think. So that's why I resist doing it.
Listen, that's what happens when you customize things.
Because I talked to them directly, and they said, "Oh yeah, we've had that problem before." So I asked the guy, "Listen, do you have any engineering drawings?" I said, "There may be another bracket that could work in my application." And the one guy I spoke with said, "I've been asking them for years to give me drawings of all the brackets so I could compare them." He says, and they just never come up with it. I'm like, all right. So we're stuck but yet they sell seats like crazy. So
Yeah.
I don't know. All right.
Yeah, I mean the other approach is you make you use your original brackets, right? And then you make a flat plate that attaches to the bottom of the seat. And then you attach
Yeah.
you get the plate into
I got
position.
a couple ideas kicking around in my head.
Yeah. You get the plate into position over
I might just make 4 L brackets.
Yeah. I mean, it's just you just want to line them up to stock holes there, so that way you just bolt them in.
Right.
So in the school bus, I want to put swivels on my seats, on my 2 front seats, and I haven't done it because, just like you said, Ray, I just don't want to do it. But I know I have to because that's going to add 2 more seats to my living room. Yep. It's one of those things.
With that, there's like a website that has the RV stuff, and they sell you the bases and all that.
Yeah.
You can actually take your seat and convert it on that base,
Well, I bought semi seats.
Yeah,
so they're a little bit different. And then I bought the swivel
I was thinking like the old van seats, the captain's chairs, they had swivels.
Yeah. Here, let me grab it real quick.
It's got the little handle. You
Yeah.
kind of release it, you know.
Right. Yeah, I had a 73 Monte Carlo that had swivel bucket seats. They were doing that. GM was doing that back in the 70s, and it was kind of cool. You could. I never really used them because I didn't need them at the time, but I could see if you were, you know, bigger or like you had some leg issues or whatever, it'd be kind of convenient to be able to swing in and out. So, quirky but cool. So
Made it different, right? They had the Chevy Laguna had those, right?
the Laguna probably did also because that was also the same platform, same
Yeah.
body, same platform. Yeah, and they were a nice seat. They're fairly bolstered, bottom and top. They were very comfortable. It was a high back seat. They didn't fold, so that's why they swiveled to let people access the rear seat. So I've heard that if you want to recover those for a custom application, you're a real pain in the ass because since they don't fold, they don't come apart. Well, they don't come apart easily.
So here's my swivel base.
Oh man!
Wow, that's a swivel base.
Hey, you see it's dusty because it's been in the corner. I don't want to play with it.
I know. Now, what's that from, Louis? What's the application?
It's for. I think these are from the RV seats.
RV seats, okay.
From a company in it, but it don't give you any brackets, and of course they don't match up with the holes on the seats. So I got to make some kind of bracket,
Right.
but.
Yeah, get some flat steel and
yeah,
yeah,
little duct tape. I'll get it in there.
Yeah, you'll be all right. Kind of bond, you'll be fine.
Elmer's glue.
Yeah. So Gill got to take a tour of my bus when we stopped at his shop.
Nice.
He had a special spot for me to pull in. I pulled in, and and the wife just relaxed, and I wanted to come in and play with his sewing machines, but I kind of felt like I don't want to mess up the flow, so I didn't.
No. That's next time you got to come in. We'll put you to work.
Yeah.
I mean, the way we have it set up, there are extra machines there, right? Because everybody has their own individual machine, but then there are specialty machines. Like we have the long arm machine where you can get a big panel through it.
Real long.
Yeah, we have a binder, so we have it already set up with the binding foot, so you can do the carpets. And then there's just a spare machine that's there that's basically brand new. We just have it just in case one goes down, you know?
Yeah.
Just swap it out.
That's good. Yeah, redundancy is key.
So you don't want to lose a day, you know? You lose a day, it's not a good thing, you know?
Yeah. That long arm is pretty nice, man. It's probably what, 3 foot?
Yeah, it's longer than that. I believe it's like 42 inch. Yeah.
Nice.
It's so long that, you know, when you're there on the seat there, it uses the air, you know, the compressed air to operate it because the release is so far over there. You got to use the air, the pedal for the air to lift the foot.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna take you up on it. Next time I come through, I'm gonna sew something.
Yeah, man. You'll like. We're working on a project right now. It's for someone on social media. Her name is Rhea Ripple, and she cuts all these cars up with a plasma cutter.
Yeah.
So she's doing this Impala. We're gonna do the interior for her, and then the car is gonna be auctioned off at Mecum, and all the proceeds are going to go to her foundation to help, domestic violence survivors and get women in trade schools and make sure, their families are safe. But the project involves a boot company. Was it Thorwood? The boot? Thorgood boot company. So we got this leather now. It's so thick, Yeah, it's boot leather, It's like, belt leather. Yeah. So we just we shipped it out to get it to the Skyver there in Gloversville, New York, and to get it thinned out a little bit so we could actually use it for seats and panels and stuff. So, but man,
how do they do that? Can they pass it through like a planer and shave it?
Yeah, that's basically what it is, and they'll just keep shaving it down till you get the thickness. But just you grab one of these hides and it's like, wow, it's got so much weight to it, And then you're sending 3 or 4 out to get skives, and it's like, you look at the shipping bill there. It's like, man, that thing's so heavy.
Yeah.
It's just,
what is a hide like that off of?
I mean,
What's
it's
the origin?
hide, but it's just when we get our leather, it's already it's already shaved down to a certain extent. This is raw leather for boots. So they don't make it thin.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So they measure by ounces. So like the leather that Gill uses is probably what, 1 to 2 ounce.
Yeah, it's very lightweight.
Yeah. Now, see, on some of my bags, like this bag here. So this is 7 to 8 ounce, and this is gator on the sides. I don't know what the ounce is on that, but so I used a couple different ounces just on this bag here.
Yeah, and you need that heavier leather because you're tooling on it. So
yeah.
But I'm
imagine
gonna put aside some of this leather for you, so you could do your thing on it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I would imagine that like gun holster leather is one of the thickest you could get. Also,
I use
that's
8 to 9.
durable.
Yeah,
got one right here, 8 to 9 ounce. And so what's nice about that is you can wet mold it. So this is 8 to 9. See how thick it is?
Right. Yeah.
Wet mold.
It's hard. Like that's like all the leather I have is just like that. So Louis, we spoke a while ago. I got in touch with that company who I bought a bunch of stuff from, and I wanted to see if they had a holster that gave me a little extra coverage, because in the summer the gun tends to chafe on my side. And I'm not wearing, I'm just wearing an overshirt, and then it didn't get back to me. So I think you're going to get the job. I'm going to commission you and just have you make it.
Quit messing around with those peon guys. Come to the pro.
So without having the
actual, I don't have the leather ones. I got to get I got to venture into the leather at some point. Like,
you got Kydex stuff now. You've been buying Kydex. Yeah.
I use Alien is the one I use a lot of. Yeah,
they're pretty nice.
Yeah.
You use the hybrid with the leather on the back and the Kydex on the front.
Yeah, and it's got the molded plastic in the front. Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice.
I like the system because you can go from putting it through a loop in a belt, or you can do the paddle where you can actually, clip it on. So I mean, it gives you some versatility,
Right.
Yeah. There's a lot of companies, a lot of good companies. That's one of the ones I like too. Is Alien. They're pretty good.
Yeah, and being left-handed, it's nice to have a company that can get me left-handed holsters, no problem.
Yeah, most of the big guys have them. Like the company I was dealing with is Relentless Tactical, I think they were a newer company, but nice stuff. There was another one too that I found. I can't remember who the hell I used, but there's a lot about. And then of course, you got you got like the old school guys, the Milt Sparks and Weaver, and what was the other one? Trying to remember back 30 years ago what I was buying, but that's all the leather stuff. But,
the only problem is being a small company like myself. I don't have all the blanks of each.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. What do you do without having the piece to fit? How do you do that?
Anybody local, they'll bring the gun to me, and I'll use their gun to wet mold.
Right.
And before my boating accident, I used to have a lot of guns, so I could wet mold. That was before the ship took all my guns, but I try to tell the wife, hey, I need to buy this gun, and I got to make a holster for this guy. He needs it bad.
Yeah, so. Right.
He's in Texas. Gotta buy
it. Yeah.
But the problem with that is, she likes guns too. So if I buy a gun, I got to buy her one. So I got to buy two. Yeah.
So you can double your inventory that way.
Well, I tell you, the good thing is, I had bought 2 holsters for the same gun from this company, and one of them was it's in the waistband, and it was just the standard smaller holster. Then they came out with one with a sweat guard, so that the top of the holster came up a little higher. That's what I'm using now. But I want to add something to the back where the butt of the gun is. And I'm talking about this is a small carry gun. It's a small 380. So I can send you that first holster so you can see what they did, and then I can send you pictures of the other one to show you what We need to add. Okay, we'll get this together.
I do have some plastic guns. They call them mold guns. I do have some. What gun is it?
It's a Smith Bodyguard, Smith Wesson Bodyguard 2.0.
I got it. I got one.
It's a
I got the
fairly
real
good
one.
Oh, you do have a real one?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, good. Okay,
That's my daily carry.
Is it? Yeah.
It's
I
right in
tell
my
you,
pocket, actually. The Bodyguard fits in my pocket. Yeah.
Gill, and with a 10-in-1 capacity, it's like it's phenomenal. Here in New York, it's 10-in-1. Of course, other states you could carry more. But I also bought the SIG 365 in 9, which is also 10-in-1, but it's just enough bigger that you feel it. You carry that Bodyguard every day. You don't even know you have it on you. Yeah. And when even just taking the SIG, which is a little bit bigger and wider, you feel it. So I stick with what's comfortable, because I figure, if you stick with what's comfortable, you're going to take it, you're going to carry it. Otherwise, you're not going to carry it, and that defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
So I carry full size M&P.
Yeah.
With a light. So
with a light, with a laser, with a grappling hook. It's got a ladder.
Yeah. I'm big, so it fits on me pretty good.
Right. I bought a Ruger RXM, which is it's like a Glock 19, same size as Glock 19. And I actually did carry that one day. I have a Kydex holster for that. And it really, even though it was noticeably bigger, it's not really too heavy. It really didn't feel too bad. Now, and one day I did take one of my old Smith revolvers, a stainless revolver. Man, I felt like I had a cinder block on my side. That thing was like heavy, So the plastic guns are real nice.
Yeah.
So Gill, is anybody, in one of the flatbeds we have at the shop, we got it from used, and the guy has a holster that was screwed onto the bottom of the dash. You just stick your Glock right in, and they left it. No one's using it, but they left it. Do you do any kind of custom, any kind of work like that for people? Has anybody asked you the holster?
No, I can't say that I do. I mean, because it's mostly classics. We don't really get into the newer stuff. So,
yeah. Well, hey, I think we talked last time. I told you I saw a guy at a cruise night that has a Firebird, and he had built a humidor built into his console. And I think you said you did that for somebody. No?
Yeah, we did that on a Porsche. In the bonnet there, we did a humidor for them.
Yeah. I could go for one of those too. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Pull the trigger, Ray. Pull the trigger.
Swing out cigar cutter and yeah.
So
all the toys in one place.
Right. So I'm gonna jump back to Ray Ripper. She's incredible with that plasma cutter. I mean, she's doing some work.
Talent. You got to see what she's doing with this Impala, though. It's just beautiful,
Yeah.
The detail.
What year Impala?
I believe it's a 64. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's a 4-door. Yeah.
Oh, 4-door. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna trade her off. I'm gonna make her a bag, and she's gonna make my wife an owl. My wife likes owls, so we're gonna do some horse trading.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she's supposed to come out, drop the car off. We're gonna get her to do some stitching, and she's gonna show us how to use a plasma cutter.
Yeah, she's no joke, man.
Yeah.
Yep. So what's on your what's the next vehicle coming out of your shop? Like, what's on the almost done list?
I would say, on the build side, we're wrapping up a 64 Lincoln. We're doing the final test miles, and we actually have in August, in a few weeks, we have the reveal planned, which is basically we're gonna do an event. It's on a Saturday night. We're gonna have some people come out. We got a local Lincoln dealership that we've invited out as well, and we're just gonna make an event of it. It's gonna be filmed for the show. And California Car Cover stepped up. They made a custom cover for it, with their logo, our logo on it. So they'll be part of the festivities there. And what we're going to do something a little different for that one is we're going to go live online at the reveal. So you'll get to experience, you know, the reveal of the Lincoln, and it's going to be actually part of an episode for this upcoming season. So we're going to, because up until now, everything that's been on the show has been it's been off of social media, like for the most part, you know, and we don't really cross over. So this time we're going to actually try to do more of a crossover with the social media and the show at the same time. So
that's good. So
we try to hide as much as we can that's on the show because we want people to watch the episodes. So
yeah,
we're going to break the rules there a little bit. So.
Give them a little teasers.
Little teaser, yeah.
So this would be what, your 4th season?
Season number 3, yeah.
3, okay.
Yeah, we've taken a big break between 2 and 3, and the reason being is we you know, previously we were doing, you know, on PowerTube there wasn't a set time, right? So the episode could be 22 minutes, it could be 29 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. But when they made some changes and they're kind of partnering with some other platforms, they're going to the 22-minute or 44-minute format. You know, 22-minute is a half an hour show, 44 minutes gives you the 1 hour show with commercials. So we made a decision that we're going to go to 44 minutes. And you think, oh, it's only a few more minutes, but it's definitely been a different venture going longer with these episodes.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is we're able to show more of the build. So we said, all right, we're going to make that decision. And then when you do these things, you know, you realize that all the work happens after the cameras go off, and you got to figure out how you're going to put these episodes together. And we were very fortunate to partner with an editor out in California who was recently unemployed because Motor Trend went south. So he's actually a former editor at Motor Trend. So nice. He took over doing all the editing for the show. And then we brought on a gentleman by the name of Joe Pugliafico, who was with Orange County Choppers and Paul Jr. Designs. So Joe is doing all the story editing and story producing of the episodes. So he's laying out the episodes and all the different Act 1 through Act 5 and what was shown in each act, and coming up with how the show just kind of flows. And, you know, we have our camera operators and our audio guys. So it's the team has grown as far as production and what we're doing, but we kind of mixed things up and brought in some outside help to give it a different flavor. And if you see the promo, it's just night and day, you know, as far as the level of production. It truly feels like a Motor Trend show, you know.
Yeah. Well, you sent it to me. It does. Yeah. It really jumps out. You can tell the difference. Yep.
Yeah. So, and that's kind of where we're at. We got 2 episodes are completely finished and waiting to air. We're working on episode 3 and 4 and 5 right now, which we have all the footage is all shot. So we just have to go through laying it out the last time. And then it's just things you don't even think of, the music library, you know? So now what happens is when you start this little thing and you're doing this thing, just like social media, right? No one cares as far as what music you're using and what's going on. But the minute you start getting attention and the minute you start getting more eyeballs and generating more buzz, then all of a sudden everybody has rights to this, rights to that. So with this production now, it's, you know, we had to bring in a music catalog that we have access to, that the music, whatever music you use per episode, there's a fee involved. So it just you know, it changes a lot, you know.
Learn new stuff all the time with that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's something that plagues me every week. I do when I'll play music on the radio show, and I'm not even doing full songs. I'm doing just clips, but you know, then I upload to YouTube, and YouTube has been getting really freaking nutty with their I mean, come on, guys. You know, geez.
Yeah, well, those copyright issues. It's like, and then you put up a video and it's us talking about something or starting. I'm like, where's the copyright? It's me. It's like, how do you know?
I actually I have these NASCAR CDs. It's like these guys. It's just songs that were NASCAR related. They're all, mostly country artists, but I played a clip the other week, a couple weeks ago. I played the wrong clip. What I played was an introduction to the whole thing, and it basically had they sung the Star Spangled Banner. YouTube flagged it as being potentially offensive in some countries. I said, really? Come on, come over here. I want to talk to you in the back room. Potentially offensive. It's a Star Spangled freaking Banner, for Christ's sake. Come on. I mean, this is getting a little absurd, I think.
Well, see, what happened is AI is crawling through everything, and it catches stuff real fast. See, before people had to find it, but now AI.
Somebody had to report it or something.
Yep.
Yes, I mean the music's a challenge, but now we have a full catalog, and that's great. And the editing's going phenomenal. I mean, just the whole, like I said, the whole feel of the show is different, and we're very, very proud of what we're putting out there. So it's taken longer. We'd hope to be on the air this spring. That was the plan, but now we're like, as we get deeper into building the episodes, we realize that we can't rush this. We got to make sure we package all the episodes together. That way, it just kind of makes sense when you go through episode 1 all the way through to season.
That's great.
So you're following a car build on each.
Yep. So every episode will have so except the first 2 episodes follows one build, and it's just kind of an introduction into the season. And then after that, every episode is 1 car per episode. So.
Okay.
Nice.
So do they have you try to follow a pre-written script, or do they let you kind of freestyle it?
Well, the beauty is we are the production company, so we own all the equipment. Everyone who operates the equipment works for us. So there's no outside producer. So basically we put the show together, we package it, and then we hand it as a finished product. So no one's going back editing anything, So.
Great. Yeah, that's what Mark Warman did with Graveyard Cars. He just started his own company, hired his own people, and said, "That's it. I got complete control."
And it's a great opportunity because what we do is we film whatever's going on. We don't stage anything. We don't stop for anything. We don't, it's just you capture the work that's going on. The only thing we do is we'll stop and do interviews. But for the most part, what we'll do is on some of the stand-up interviews, we'll pick certain days and we do a few stand-up interviews back to back because, it doesn't matter what time you're doing those. It just correlates to, if we're working on, a 37 Chevy truck and, we do a stand-up interview somewhere else in the shop and we just go through the project and say, all right, well, next we're going to bring it in. We're going to get this thing started. We got to do some wiring. And then as you're talking, the B-roll, the footage behind you shows like the people doing the work. So that stuff time-wise doesn't matter. But what we're getting more into this season is the actual when that guy, when Scott's working on the engine, he's being interviewed, he's mic'd and he's talking through what he's doing. If Julio or Guido is working on a piece, they're mic'd up and they're telling us what's going on and what they're working on. And then what we're capturing too is I'll go over inside the interior shop. I'll interact with them saying, hey, what's going on with this project? They step me through and we're all mic'd up. So you're getting the dialogue. So basically it's like you're in the shop watching exactly what's going on. So like, when you came and visited the shop and you saw the work that's going on, you see the interaction. And that's basically what the audience is going to see is they're going to see a real life day-to-day operation of what goes on at the shop.
Right. I have to say, every time I see a clip on Instagram or Facebook of your interior guys, I learn something new every time. And it could be just the way they hold the material, going through the machine, something a little different. I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Oh yeah. Well, Julio's big on the gloves. He likes to wear the gloves when he's working there. I guess he has better control over it. And then they all have different styles of doing things. It's very it's different. Each one has a different way to stitch up things.
Yeah. So for the leather work, there's really no school for it. You kind of learn as you build stuff, or that's in my case. And so when I see people on the internet now, I can watch a guy that's terrible. Like everything he's doing is terrible, but he'll do one thing that makes sense, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna use that.
Yeah, I'll tell you one of the big videos we put out, right? So Julio has his glue gun, his spray glue gun. And typically, if you're in the trade, when you put the glue gun on the bench, sometimes it falls over or whatever. And so he took a piece of ABS plastic, made an oversized oval, circle there, and he glued it to the bottom of the glue gun. So when he lays it down, it doesn't fall over. Man, it was the greatest thing ever. There was so many comments on it. People were like, "Oh, where'd you get that?" I'm like, "It's just plastic, man. He just cut a circle. You can do it too." Here,
I have a torch lighter for my cigars. It's a little top heavy, and whenever you put it down, it wants to fall. And I keep saying, I got to make a base for this thing. Out of something. I mean, it'll make it a little harder if you want to put it in your pocket, but it's always falling over. I'm like, they should have made it top heavy first of all, I guess. But
all you got to do is do like a 3D printed base for a table, and when you're sitting there at the table, you just put it in the base. That's it.
That would work. Yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
No, though, you know what? The simplest little things, like the same thing. I rebuild carburetors, and when I'm sitting at my bench, I have to bring my air hose over because I always have to. Going to be blowing stuff out, and it's on a coiled cord, and it wants to spring back. And I keep thinking I got to make a hook or something, but I know that when I'm not doing a carburetor, the hook's going to grab me and rip my side apart. So I just open the top drawer of my bottom toolbox. And I kind of hook it on that. But again, the same thing with a TIG torch. They made TIG torch holders so you could put the torch in a little bit holder on your base, on your bench. And those stupid little things, I don't care what you make it out of. If it's out of a piece of junk, those are the best things you can have around because they serve a purpose and just solves a problem. And I love stuff like that.
Well, what we found with the air blower and the glue pots, the glue guns, is typically an air blower has a little hook on it, right?
Yeah.
And the glue guns have a little hook on it. So what we have is on our tables, everybody has them. There's a like a flat bar,
Mm-hmm.
We take flat bar, we bend it like in a shape like this,
Uh-huh.
So just a flat bar like that, and it's bolted to the table, so it doesn't stick out. And if you hit it, it's just a flat bar, and you can hook the tool on there, and then if you need it, it's right there. Because
that's
good. Right. If you do put a hook on a table, you're gonna get caught on it.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like my hose isn't coming perpendicular to the bench; it's coming along it, so it wants to. It's in the same plane as the bench. So I just, like I said, I open the drawer of the toolbox and I hook it onto the top of the toolbox drawer.
The other thing we do too is because when you do stuff a lot, you can. So every bench. So there's a hard line to the bench, and then on the bench itself, there's an air line you can plug into. So if you're working with a small hose, there an air line, you don't have to, But every station has a hose reel. So you have a hose reel, you have the coil thing, and then on the bench itself, there's a jack there to plug into if you had a hose you wanted to just plug into at the bench. So
building your stations like that goes a long way, man. I mean, think about when you have to go find a tool or go like that hose messing with you, that throws you out of your mental game on what you're doing. Because you're worried about that hose falling off or the glue gun falling.
Glue gun falling over, yeah.
So taking a little bit of time, I tell people all the time, make jigs or make things work for you in your shop.
Yeah.
It goes a long way.
Yeah, if you look at everybody's station and on the interior side, there's an oversized table, there's a top rack up top where you can put stuff. And then behind them against the wall, there's a wire rack with all the bins, and the table itself has shelves where they can put, some razor blades or thread or whatever they need. So basically everything is self-sufficient there, and everybody has. So, and every station is the exact same stuff at it, right? So if you're working, and you go over to someone else's station, there's going to be CA glue there. There's going to be silicone spray. There's going to be razor blades. There's going to be panel bond. Everything's going to be in that rack, the same every station. So that way, it's just the efficiency of going over to someone else's station. And if you got to put a piece together there, instead of running back and forth, you can do it right there.
That's nice. Yep.
No, that's the way to do it. Yeah. Yeah.
So Ray, I
Nice.
believe you need to invest, now that you're retired, you need to invest in a 3D printer, because your brain will go crazy on making stuff.
Oh, I know it has already. And what stops me, Lewis? I know friends. A lot of my friends have 3D printers and laser cutters, and they all say the same thing. Oh, if I only would have waited another year, I could have got this better one. And that's me. It's like, yeah, but there's always going to be something better coming out, and that stops me from doing it, because if you don't do it, you're not doing it. So I'm my own worst enemy.
Yeah, just do it. Pull the trigger.
Yeah.
It's I gotta tell you, it's like it's amazing, the technology. I'm going to show you. See if I can pull it up here.
When I was out in Arizona, sitting in the desert, I was fiending. I was like, man, I should have brought my printer with me. I was thinking of so much stuff to print. So this year it's coming with me.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So the great thing too about the printers is it runs all the time, right? I'm gonna see if you can see. You see that?
Oh, wait, let me pull it. Hold on. There you go.
Oh, there we are. Yeah.
You see what's going on there?
Oh, it's printing right now. That's live feed.
Right now.
Yep.
Okay.
Nice.
You can see it right from the phone.
Nice.
Yeah, I do that too. I'll set the printer. I'll go in the house and I keep checking every once in a while, make sure it's still doing its thing. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's a great thing too. The printer, I'll tell you, is when you think about it, right? So you hire people, they're working physically at the shop, and there's only so many hours in a day. But when you start getting into the 3D printing world, our guy Tyler there, he punched in the job, sent it to the printer, and like a half an hour later, we were done for the day. We left, but that machine's going to work and finish that project.
Yep.
So it's almost like you have another employee working extra hours to get that piece done,
And you don't have to pay him overtime.
No, and you don't have to worry about health benefits and New York tax, FDA tax, and this tax and that tax.
Right.
That's nice.
And the way we do it, at the shop is the laser machine has a per hour charge. So labor rate. The 3D printer has a labor rate. Any kind of CNC work has a labor rate. So it's not just, the employee working, generating labor hours. It's the machines generate labor hours as well, because you have to maintain those machines and, do upgrades to it. So, there's wear and tear. So every hour that those machines run, the client is billed for that particular time frame,
How did you come upon the billing rate? How did you decide what was?
You have conversations within the industry. So you just kind of reach out to others that are doing similar stuff, and you just kind of get a feel for what the rates are for the machines.
Okay. See, I like that in a way, because like Lou said, with AI taking over everything and robotics doing people's jobs, now you're able to charge for the machine. Like the machine doesn't know, it doesn't get a lunch break, or it doesn't, and it's not getting paid, but you are. So I like that.
And it's an easy sell to the client, because the way we tell them is, listen, we have to make, piece X here, right? If someone physically is going to make that piece, our shop rate ranges from $150 to $200 an hour based on what the project is. Or this machine could do it for anywhere from $75 to $100 an hour.
Right.
Okay. Fair.
So
The person is going to be more expensive hourly, and they're going to take longer because they have to physically make this thing in multiple stages and do things. and the machine is looking at a computer file and is going to make it exact to that.
Right.
So when you present that to the client, I mean, there's an understanding that, you know what, it seems weird that I'm paying for a machine to print something, but I'm getting a great deal because it's the labor rate's half the cost, and it's the efficiency and time is much better. So
as long as the file is, I mean, because a human can make a mistake, but as long as that file's correct, the machine's not going to make a mistake. But what happens if there was a problem with the file and the part comes out incorrect? Do they get billed twice, or do you eat the first one?
No, you're gonna bill for the time of the job, right? So if it says the job is an 8-hour job, let's say, so that's the cost. If the job comes out, let's say 5 hours in, there's an issue with the piece, or even 8 hours after the piece doesn't work, then it's not what they're gonna pay. You know, they're gonna pay for the finished piece when it's finished.
Okay,
Right.
got it.
And the machine won't get mad at you that they got to go redo it.
Do it again, yeah. You're staying Sunday night and doing this, you freaking machine.
What we do before we send it to print, there are steps involved. So what the nice thing with the laser machine is we can cut a piece of cardboard with the diameter of what we're working with and fit it in place, right? So as long as it fits, on the piece itself, and it fits into there, then you're fine. So the depth of it and the shape of it, as long as it has the place that it's going to go in, you're fine. Right. And we do that a lot with the trim, the polish trim. We'll take the time to make templates before we commit to the expensive materials of aluminum and ABS plastic and printing and things like that. So
that's why I make my templates out of cardboard.
Yep.
So this is a template for slate coasters.
Okay.
Drink coasters.
Yeah.
So, I'm sitting here with all this cardboard from Amazon. I don't know if you can see, but
yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's an inexpensive way to test something before you commit to doing the design.
Yep. Yeah. So Ray, you got to get a laser and you got to get a 3D printer by. This is your homework. You got to get it by next week.
All right. I gotta get the space.
Yeah, they're so small now. You don't take up much space now.
Yeah, I'll tell you, technologies came a long way. And
I remember back in the day watching American Hot Rod, and they would show how Boyd would make wheels, and that was the first time I saw a chunk of aluminum go into a CNC. I was like, "Whoa!"
He was the first one to do it.
Yeah, he was ahead of his time, man. That machine was. There's companies still today that don't have that level of machine,
And they talked about how that thing's going to run overnight. We'll come in tomorrow, and then we're going to have a wheel. And I'm like, wow. I mean, I remember being blown away seeing that. That was phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah. The crazy thing is when you look at the waste involved, right? So you take
I was going to say,
I mean, more than half of it goes away. It's just
the part of it that isn't a wheel. Yeah, but I guess with that grade of aluminum, you can easily recycle it because it's it's good quality aluminum. So I don't know what they do with it, but
I think it gets scrapped and they get credit for they'll sell the aluminum back, and it's just it's part of making the wheel. You're gonna have that
because those billet chunks, man, they were big, big blocks. Jeez.
Yeah, and it's very expensive nowadays. It's not a cheap process. That's why wheels have gone up quite a bit. Instead of wheels.
Yeah, sure have. All right, so we got the fellas in the waiting room. We'll pull those guys on and see what they want to talk about. Hey, Keith.
Hello.
Hey guys. Hey, Gill. How
are
you doing?
Hey, Gill.
Hey, buddy.
You said something that was fairly interesting because a lot of people have this problem, and especially like trying to sell a piece of shop equipment, and just like your laser printer or laser thing going along, you try to sell it because the first thing the shop owner says is, "How do I make money with this?" And so you break that down just like how you explained. And the only crazy part, since the whole AI thing, now the only thing I'm afraid is, because if the government finds out how you're making money and not paying somebody, they're going to ask for some type of tax with that.
Yeah.
That's
They
the
don't
only
want their
problem that I
piece.
have about. Those are things that we don't talk about, because if Uncle Sam thinks that he's getting cheated out of Social Security tax and this tax and that tax because the machine's running all night for you, they'll find a way to get money, and that's the only thing that's scary about that.
Leave it to Brian to be the buzzkill.
Well, I will
I'm
say
sorry.
it's the norm in the CNC world, right? So when you send a project to a CNC machinist, when you get that invoice, it's machine runtime is on that invoice. Yes.
Yeah.
It's just it's part of it, right? Because you want to know why that piece costs so much. Well, because the machine had to operate for 16 hours to cut that piece for you.
Oh no, I'm all for it, but I'm just saying that as somebody that tries to sell a scanner or a piece of shop equipment, a brake lathe or whatever, and you try to explain that, he goes, well, what this costs, how am I making my money, or how do I charge? And like I said, I'm all for it, but unfortunately with the world of AI and running all night, I'm sure they'll find a way to make sure that we pay for that. So
yeah. The
government's not going to, they're going to think it's part of their money. So, but I got to stop at this point because we're still alive, and the black SUVs parked out there listening to me, so.
Lewis, let me drop a name for you, Lewis. Little John Butera.
Oh, yeah.
He made billet wheels before Boyd did.
Yeah.
Really?
He also is credited with a ton of race car style fabrication and stuff like that. I mean, Boyd and Little John knew each other because Boyd moved from the Midwest to California as a machinist.
Yeah.
But I think Little John made a set of what ended up Centerline kind of copied and made their Champ 500s. But Little John Butera was, I think that's how his last name was pronounced. But Little John made billet wheels before Boyd did. I think, if not, they're
right next to each other. Yeah.
But again, it was the same thing. Both excellent machinists that had an idea and loaded up that billet chunk and went to town. So
I wonder what their thought process was to say, I'm going to make a one-piece wheel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because there was 2 and 3 piece before that. Prior to
well, that was for weight savings. When think of it from an engineering side, if you do a 3-piece wheel, your fit and offsets are almost infinite, because you just your center section, your front hoop, your back hoop, getting it balanced, and a lot of that stuff is so when it's machined down to the hundred of thousandths, and the tolerance is so tight, they usually don't have to do a ton of balancing. But again, the question with your seat, go back to your beginnings, Grasshopper. Because it's an easy question wanting to put a swivel. My International Eagle had swivel seats in it.
Yeah.
And the RV that I had, that diesel pusher RV, didn't have air adjustable seats, and I hated it because I was used to an adjustable seat like in a truck. So you've got options on how you can make your swivel seat if you pick up a base out of any truck, a base with an airbag. I mean, you know how the tractors do the bases. Those are, and it's a, if you've got compressed air on the truck or, on the bus, if you've got air brakes, then you've got a supply. So then you could add an air ride seat for you.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Lee, add air seats, like the big Peterbilt seats and stuff like that. Big high back buckets, or like I said, you could take that. that base, that swivel base that you have. Like I said, that International Eagle that I had a little arm on it, and you flip it, and it would spin right around, so you could face into the back of the sleeper.
Mhm.
So
What happened to
you got
Ray?
several options on doing the seats.
Yeah,
And,
I just got to do it. I look at it and I'll do it later. You know what I mean? One of those things.
hey, everybody gets a little touch of the lazy now and then, but it's you've got tons of options. But that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, we lost Raymond.
Yes.
So Gill, are you working on any cars for yourself? You got anything?
I have my 1970 Riviera,
Riv, that's right. Yeah.
And we just picked up a 1965 Volvo P1800. So, and then Linda just got a 1978 Trail Duster. So.
78.
Yeah, 78.
You don't see those too often.
No, I usually see the Ram Chargers. So the Plymouth Trail Duster is it's pretty cool, and it's got the cap on it, so it's a nice.
That's got the removable top, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Was that a 318 in that? Was that a?
It's been upgraded.
Oh,
A little more, huh?
It's got a big block in there. So.
The removable hardtop on the Chryslers, that one, if I'm not mistaken, comes off like a convertible at the A-pillar, right?
It comes off at the A-pillar, yeah. So it's not just a little
because
back section. It's the whole roof comes off. Yeah.
The Blazers and the other ones went at the B-pillar and took off back there, but the Ram Chargers and all that lifted right at the A-pillar like
you
a
get
convertible.
Full roadster effect, Yeah. It's pretty cool.
that's the way the Scout was.
Yeah.
Right from the windshield back, the whole thing came off on the Scout.
Yeah, we did a 76 International Travelall.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have a 800A, 69 800A, and thank God I only had the half top. Mine was looked like a little pickup truck. A buddy of mine had a Scout 2, which was a little bit bigger, but he had a full top, and taking that one off was a pain in the ass. Because you just kind of 10,000 bolts and you just kind of dropped it to the side. It wasn't that light of a thing to move around. So interesting.
So if anybody wants in the Plan and Traffic swag, hit the QR code and feel free to do some shopping.
I will tell you, I like the orange color on the highlights, Lewis.
Yeah, I'm trying to change it up a little bit. Trying to be fancy.
I like the look, yeah. Yeah.
So what's the new trend and color for interior? Do you go through a phase of everybody wants black and then everybody wants chartreuse and everybody wants purple and
mushroom brown?
Yeah. Is there actually a phase or?
You'll get it. Like it was like last year. I think last year and a half. Yeah, the big kick was that orangey saddle color. See it a lot from the Porsches, but everybody was doing it. It was kind of funny because we did. I think we went April and May back to back in Modern Riding magazine. We had 2 features. One was a black 1948 Cadillac convertible with that colored leather interior. The next month, right back to back, we get the cover with a 55 Chevy, black 55 Chevy with the same exact color interior. So it was just like, what are the chances that those two are going to be back to back in a magazine with the same exact color in it? But that was the big color. We did it in the 70 Cuda. We did 69 Camaro, but it was like I would say for a good year, 7 out of 10, projects was that same color. It was just
and was that just people coming in saying, I want this color?
Yeah, everybody was on this Porsche Spezia leather. It's a certain color, and people were coming in. Oh, I don't know if you're familiar with this Porsche color. I'm like, oh god, here we go again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The nice part was, you buying all the same leather. You got good scraps. You can,
Right.
Yeah.
No.
you don't have to
Gil,
go to finish a piece.
I kind of did it the opposite way. I looked at the inside of my car and said, damn, everything is black. The door panels, the seats, the carpet, the dash, the headliner. I said, I got to do something. So I changed the carpet. I put a gold carpet in. What a difference. It just literally popped the whole interior. And it was so much cheaper than having to redo seats or anything. It was, I
Yeah, I would say right now we're on a lot of very light color interiors. We're doing an '83 Porsche Custom with a white interior. We're doing a '61 Pontiac Ventura with a almost white interior. It's very creamy.
nice.
So the big kick now seems to be this very light colors.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like
Yeah,
the white ones. The white ones always killed me because hell, half the time you got to wear gloves to work on it because just your normal fingerprints will
Every time you touch it,
that
it's
leather.
dirty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we convinced them not to do white carpet. They went with
Oh,
the blue carpet.
Jeez.
I had a customer that had a black 928, and this guy was just a fanatic with the car, like a lot of those Porsche owners are. But it had a factory white interior. It was very different. I mean, like I said, because most of those cars, were the black or the brown interior type stuff. And but he brought that car. Well, the car was a regular. Tons of, he did all the maintenance and warranty out of the yang, every squeak, rattle, bump, the whole 9 yards. He was just one of those guys, and rightfully so to a point. But he had scrubbed the carpet so hard that it took the white out of the white, and it was like it looked like I guess a close color to a bag of rice. It was just that brown. And of course, it was all, this should be covered under warranty, and he's just like using bleach or whatever to trying to keep it clean. I was so happy the day that he finally traded that car in, and luckily he didn't go with a white interior the second time around. But that was trying to keep him from trying to keep the car so clean. It was really difficult on that white, so it was crazy. And I'm usually, I like white, but there's no way for inside of the interior or a light color. I have a Tesla dealership and their cars. And do you actually, how many Tesla interiors have you changed? Because those are pretty much, I think, 2 colors, and they get a lot of cars that have been changed. I didn't know if you actually dye them or actually reskin them.
We don't touch new cars, so we stop at mid 90s.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just classics.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a classic. Those.
But it's just like anything in interior colors, or they come in and out of style, and then being a full build shop, I can say on the paint side, on the exterior side, it's all over the place. There's no, all the cars are red. Although we did go through a phase where everything seemed to be a blue color, but now I can say right now in the shop, everything's very very different color wise.
Diverse. Well, that's good. I was just curious about if you ran through phases or whatever. I just.
Do you get a lot of like gray?
So I would say out of the 15 projects we have going on right now, only one's gray. So
that's good.
Yeah.
I don't like the boring grayscale cars.
Yeah, this was a Nova that came in. It was originally like a graphite gray, and they went back with a very similar color to the
Similar
gray.
color. Well, that makes sense. If it was already
Rounded it up, added a little more metallic to it. The interior was mint. a client we did the interior for. It's got to be 20 years ago. And now that we're doing full builds, came in for body and paint work. And in the interior, I mean, they've taken care of this car so well that I said I wouldn't even touch it. It's just clean it up and just leave it, you know.
All right.
Have you had a car, Gill? Have you had a customer come in? Because this would be probably me. Because, you know, like I said, I'm every car that I've ever had, and when I ever got to paint it, it always went back to the original color. Even though I said I was going to change the color of the car. Have you ever had a guy come in with one color, change it, and then wishes that he didn't? Or was that ever got to that far of a discussion?
No, I mean, we when they come in for the build process there, we talk about color early on. You know, we'll talk about what they're thinking, and then we'll do these speed shape spray outs.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll narrow it down to, you know, 6 to 8 colors, and we tell them to take it home with them. Take it home, lay them out, look at them in the sun, ask your friends, because everybody's like, why would you tell them to ask their friends? Because everybody knows there's that toxic friend that goes, oh, why'd you go with that color? You should have went with this. Let's get it all out of the way. Just put it all out there, you know? And I always say, if your friend feels it should be that color, then just have him give me a call, give me his credit card information, and we'll make it any color we want that he wants, you know? But so we try to get him the color choices early on, so that way they have it for a few weeks, a few months, and then when it comes time to sign off on it, we literally make them take the speed shape that they decided on and sign the back of it, and that's the one we go off of. And then as we're spraying the car, we have that, you know, in the booth as well to make sure that it's the exact
Same.
you know, color. You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I was just curious because, like I said, I go back and forth and say, man, I picked like 2 or 3 different colors, and then but I always go right back to what the car was, or that's at least I see it. That's the way that car is, and that's the color it should be. So I was just curious if you ever had somebody change the color and then said, well, I want it back the other way. I guess if they got the money, they can pay.
We haven't had that. I mean, we did the 68 Mercury Cougar. It came in as a, you know, one family-owned vehicle. It was her father's. And when it came in, it was that light green color with a green interior. And I mean, we all thought, like, just maybe we update the green a little bit, just kind of give it a little more modern twist, or maybe just a little more metallic in it. But we pitched doing the green with the green interior, like just keep it, but just upgrade it. Maybe do a little suede on the headliner, do leather instead of vinyl, just kind of make it a little more upgraded. And just they went with a crimson red off of a newer Ford color with a black interior. So far away from what the car was.
Yeah.
You know, so that was one of those instances where we were pitching to them to keep it close to original, and they went totally in a different direction. You know?
Right. That's crazy, especially being a sentimental piece. I mean, being a family member car or whatever.
With that one, yeah. So.
Wow. Oh.
So when I get my nerve to go ahead and do my seats, when I take them out to put the swivels on, this is the insert I'm going to put in the middle.
Did you get that from Relicate there? Is that the suede? Oh no, the plaid. The plaid, yeah.
Plaid, yeah. So I think I'm gonna do the center. I'm gonna do a piece down the center, and then I might do suede on the sides of that, and then vinyl on the outer and the back. I think, I don't know.
Just think about the suede a little bit, you know, because you're going for long rides, right? You know, you're driving a lot.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Just it doesn't wear. I mean, when you're there, the days are hot and you're sweating a little bit, and you got the oils from your skin, and
That's true. Yeah.
Suede doesn't like a lot of you know, high traffic areas.
Touching. Yeah.
So just think about that before you commit to it. You know.
Yeah, that makes sense. See, that's why I have you as a friend, because I gotta reach out and find out what to do.
Yeah, we always tell our clients we use a lot of Alcantara suede, and we just tell them, you know, it's great for for areas that are not high touch areas. You never want to put them on an armrest. We like the Alcantara on the headliner.
Yeah.
We like it on an insert on a door panel that's not rubbed against, with your elbow or your arm. So you just use it sparingly, I see some people wrap steering wheels with the Alcantara. I'm like, that's not going to look good in a few weeks, Can't get a worse spot for suede,
That's true. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, so we had somebody who wanted that, and we just like he's like, oh no, he's like, that's what I want. I'm like, we're not gonna do it. I said, once we do it and we hand it to you in 3 weeks, when it's why is it looking this way, and then all of a sudden it becomes my problem. I'm like, I'm not interested in that,
Yeah, that's true. Hey Ray, you didn't see, but that's going to be the insert on my seats.
Nice.
It has orange to match the bus a little bit. I don't know if you can tell. Can you tell the orange?
Like that reminds me of like a Burberry. My daughter has it's a jacket, a winter jacket. The pattern is a well-known pattern, like from the 60s, and there's a designer who uses it. I don't know if it's Spade or Cole, but it looks just like that. I always liked it. That's really nice.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
A little different, and it has the orange to match the bus a little bit, so.
I like orange, I do. I like it on here. I like orange. I don't know why.
Doing orange stitching.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do is a double stitch in a nice orange. If I ever get to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Put it on your calendar, Lewis. When the date shows up, you got to know it's on the calendar.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
But once I start, I'll get into it.
Yeah, listen, my car's been sitting in primer for over a year now, so.
Yeah.
What car is that, Gill?
My 70 Riviera,
Oh, 70 Nice.
Because they had a full custom chassis underneath it,
Sweet.
It's going to be a supercharged LS. But right now it's just sitting there because we're just busy with clients, and I was like, there's no place on this planet where we would put that car in front of a client's car. We can't.
Right. Yeah.
You're gonna have some hurt feelings there.
If you come across anybody who has a 71 or 2 Riviera with a bench seat and they want to convert it to buckets, I have a pair of buckets, the console, the shifter, and the steering column from steering wheel to rag joint out of a 71, and I would love to sell the stuff and free up some of my excess inventory. I just got to find that guy that wants to convert their car. So I got the hard parts they need.
Put them on a buy, sell, trade. You'll be surprised.
Yeah, that's an idea.
Yeah.
Do something.
I saw a Riviera at the golf club near me. I don't know what year it was. I didn't go check.
So how do you know it was a Riviera?
Well, I drove past. I go, oh look, there's a Riviera. You could tell, right?
What generation was it?
The winner? No, it was that generation, like the 71-ish. Had that
boat tail
window. Yeah,
okay.
There'd be a big boat tail with a
That's
window in the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how you can tell it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and I just I was driving by.
Yeah.
But maybe next time I'll drive in, I'll go check it out and put a little note. You need some seats.
Yeah.
There you
go. Okay, Ray, what was the only year that had the clamshell hideaway headlights on the Rivy?
65. It's the one everybody wants. Beautiful car. I like them all. All the early Rivs, I like every year for a different reason. In 68 or 9, they had that rolling speedometer. It was a drum. The red line stayed fixed and the speedometer moved. It was the coolest idea. There was a lot of cool design features on all of those early Rivs.
Did they have the radio that said Buick on the knobs?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I know I had a Skylark that had that. It said Buick, for all your different settings. Yeah. That was kind of neat.
Yeah, revolutionary cars.
Yeah, they were.
Businessmen's hot rods.
Yeah.
And mine went like stink. I tell you, that 455 in that, even though it was a big car with a 455 in it, it moved. Got 7-8 miles to the gallon, but it moved.
I had a 70 Eldorado.
Yeah, nice.
And I could light those tires up and drive 10 miles with them spinning. That thing was a beast.
Yeah, tons of torque.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we got the that 442 we picked up last week. We got it running yesterday. It was easy to do, and we took it out. Of course, my buddy owns the shop. He took the taillights out so we could polish them. He goes, well, I'm going to take it around the block. All right. So he went with his son, and he comes back, and he gets me, he goes, yeah, you got to drive it. All right, I get in. I realize, not only don't we have any red taillights on the back of this car, he didn't even put the transporter plate on it. So we have no plate, no nothing.
And he's have you drive.
On the streets. And I was showing him how, I'm slowing down and taking turns, and he's looking at me. I said, what's the matter? He goes, well, you're not shifting. I said, this is a 455. Second gear is all you need, especially on a roll. It's like there's no reason to go down to first.
Yeah.
I said,
Cubic torque.
Yeah, I said you haven't had, and it's not only, it's not only the size of the engine, because my little Fiat Spider with a 2-liter engine has a ton of torque for its size, and that's another one. I use first. I could start in second if I wanted to, but I use first to start off. But I do rolls in second gear all the time. And third, I can be down to like 30, 35 miles an hour, and I can take off again in third. It doesn't have horsepower, but it's got torque. So,
Ray, you'd liked a friend of mine, Tommy. He had a, I forget what year, Sentra. And Tommy was an SCCA road racer.
Okay.
And he figured out when he had gotten his little Sentra that he could run the track in second gear. He would take off.
Wow.
Pull second gear, and it had like a 7,200 RPM red line, so he could run the track in second gear between the
SER
A-cell, D-cell curve. Yeah. He goes, once I put it in second gear, he says, I can run the track, and it's like a 2-mile track. It
was like having an automatic.
With like 12 or 13 corners. Mm-hmm. But he goes, it's a great little car. He's just, put a good tire on it and just have fun.
That's cool. Yeah, some cars will do that. Some will like that.
Yeah, I had a '92 SER, the Sentra SER, and I did autocross, and I think the Miata Club put the autocross on, so they make all these tight. There's no long straightaways because the Miata's not doing a long straightaway. So there's all these little turns and everything. And I had my '92 SER. I'm like, all right, this is cool. I was in second gear the whole time, going around. Yeah. It's kind of fun. The back was kicking out. I was like, how's the back? I had sway bars. The whole suspension was all done up. And the back's kicking out on a front-wheel drive car. I'm like, holy cow, okay.
Yeah. Usually they understand.
Was that the V-spec?
No, so it was a '92, so it was just an SER. V-spec, I think, came next to the body style.
I remember when it came out with the SER V-spec. That was a nasty little car.
That would have been the generation after. So you have B13 was, I don't know, 91 to 94 or something like that. And your B14s was whatever, the 200SX generation. And after that was the Sentra. I think they were all 4-doors then, weren't they? They turned to 4-doors after that? I don't remember. Kind of stopped caring about them after they were 4-doors.
Yeah.
Stupid 4-door kids.
Yeah, and then I got kids, and then I got the Mazda speed, but anyway.
All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Got an early day to start tomorrow.
Hey, Gill, we appreciate you coming on, man. You're always welcome.
Being on, man. I look forward to the next time. I'll keep you up to date on everything.
Okay, sounds good. And if I'm up your way, I'll let you know I'm heading in.
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll put you to work, man.
Sounds good.
All right, guys, have a great night, man.
Good night.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, guys.
There you go. Yeah, then I got a Mazda Speed 6 because I needed a 4-door because I had the kids, and I drove a brand new Mazda Speed 3, and it was like a little bit wet out, and this thing was brand new, and I'm first gear spinning the tires, second gear spinning the tires. I go, this isn't any good. I go, I'm not gonna be able, I want to get on it and be able to just go. So then I bought, I don't even know what year, it was probably like 2009 maybe I did that. So then I went back and I got a Mazda Speed 6 because they're all-wheel drive and it just takes off. It was a little bit bigger too.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing with that was that was the years where like Ford was involved with Mazda. So like the rear, there's some rear differential part that said full Moco on it and stuff. I'm like, oh look, this is a Ford part. This is a Ford part.
Yeah, Mazda 3 I had had the Ford designed. They did some design.
And had the
that was I was so pissed because the PCV valve, they put it on the engine block between the exhaust manifold and the block. So you had to take the exhaust manifold off to get at the PCV valve. It's like, what a stupid fucking idea that was.
Yeah. So if you got the Mazda Speed, it was built in Japan and shipped over. You got the regular Mazda 6, that was built in the US.
Okay, my 3 was built in Japan because I actually had a special order the car. It was kind of funny because I wanted
it was J or something.
Yeah, I wanted a 5-speed.
Oh,
so I went up to I think there was just a regular 3. Then there was I'm trying to remember what the middle model was. Then there was the GT. So I was up to the GT because I wanted navigation. I wanted the navigation in the dash. So that default gave me leather interior, and I really wanted Mazda's cloth interior. I had to take the leather, and then it was heated, which I hated at first, and then I came to really like it. And they had to order it, and they had to pull it off the line. So I remember I called the dealer to ask him on progress, and the guy says, he goes, okay, what's your name? He goes, oh, you're the guy that ordered the Winning Blue 3 with the 5-speed. I was like, yeah. He goes, man, that's exactly how I would have ordered that car. You put everything in it, but you kept the 5-speed. You didn't go for the automatic. I'm like, damn right. I said, I don't want to in that car. He goes, man, if you don't want it, I'll take it. I said, well, I'm kind of already paid for it, so I'm taking it.
Yep.
And that was a fun little car.
Yeah, I enjoyed the reason I got rid of the Speed 6 was I was traveling to and from work, and it was just sitting in traffic the whole time, going first, second. I'm like this, and it didn't have enough power for me to just leave it in second.
Yeah, you see, that car didn't have the torque that my Fiat has.
It doesn't have the torque. Yeah, it didn't have torque.
It had more horsepower up top, but it didn't have the torque. So exactly.
So and that's constantly.
All those cars are different. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. My legs up and down, arms like, oh, this is.
Well, luckily it was a hydraulic clutch.
Yeah.
So it was funny because when I sold the car a couple of years ago, I had just cracked 100,000 miles on it, and the guy's looking it over, and I gave him my list of all my, all the maintenance I've done, and it was just really struts, brakes, average stuff, nothing crazy, batteries every 5 years, and his girlfriend was with him, and she's looking over the list. She goes, hey, wait a minute. She goes, I don't see something here. I'm like, what are you looking for? She goes, you never put a clutch in this car? I was like, no. I said, it's the original clutch. She goes, how could it be the original clutch? I said, because I know how to drive a stick shift.
Yeah.
I said, and I'll tell you how you know. I said, it's got a hydraulic clutch. You can't fool a hydraulic clutch. Check the pickup point on the clutch. You'll see, if it was bad, it would be low.
All the way down, yeah.
I said, it's not. It's right where it was pretty much from the factory. I said, I'm the only person that ever drove that car. Maybe one or two other people drove it just to move it somewhere. I said, but I put all those 100,000 miles on, and I know how to drive a stick. And she's like, all right. I could see her like, all right. That was, give me the Larry David, like, staring at me. I was like, take it for a drive and see. I said, it's not going to lie to you. Yeah. I said, I'm not lying to you either.
So when you come up to a stop sign or a stoplight, do you downshift or you just put in neutral and just coast?
I typically I do. It depends on the situation. Yeah. A lot of times what I do is if I see the light coming, I'll just slow down in the gear I'm in and let the car slow itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then usually sometime before the light, if I see I'm going to get stuck for light, I'll put it in neutral and then I'll just brake slowly. Because I follow both camps, and downshifting is my last resort, because now you're not RPM matching. Now you're actually loading the engine on every downshift. Yeah. So, and if you have to slow down fast, of course you're going to downshift.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah, but if you're just casually coming up on a light,
I believe in using the brakes because the brakes are cheaper to change than the engine and the transmission components. So, like I said, if I see the lights, I'll slow down in gear, and then if it gets close enough, I'll just pop it neutral and stop with the brakes. That's my typical pattern, you know.
Yeah, that's what I used to do.
Yeah.
Hey Ray, do you still have your Fiat?
I do, yeah.
What year is it?
79.
Because I messed around and took my wife to a Fiat rally.
Okay.
One of my friends invited us. Now she wants one, so I'm.
I've been watching Fiat Spider videos on YouTube. They're following me because I started looking at a couple. Now I'm thinking about I want to buy. I like the new one that came out. They stopped production in 2021, I think.
Mhm.
That went on the line with the Mazda, with the Miata.
Oh, you want to get the Miata version of the Fiat version of the Miata?
Some of the guys call it a Fiata because it was on the same assembly line with the Miata. But when it came time for engine and trans,
Different bumper.
the Fiat went the Fiat went one way, the Mazda went the other, because the Fiat did get an Italian engine and transmission. Yeah. But everything else was Miata-ish.
The whole body is Miata.
Yeah. But it's still, if you look at it next to my car, you can see the lineage. They put the same lumps in the hood. There's a lot of styling cues from the older Spider, which is nice. But,
what is that thing called? The Fiat what?
It's a 124 Spider.
Oh, 124, that's what it's called?
Yeah, it's still, or they may call it, yeah, it's a 124 Spider. But yeah, Louis, there, you know what? I see them all the time. People are always sending me links for them. You'll find them, you know, if you see one for $500, $600, $700, $800, $900, you know what? You're going to rebuild it. It's going to be brakes. It's going to be suspension. They're prone to rust. And that's why I took the one that I have, because it wasn't rusted. Like usually over the eyebrows of the wheel arches, they rust out really bad. And my car wasn't. It had been undercoated. So that's the only reason I took it. Plus the engine turned. If it was seized, I wasn't going to take it. I did rebuild the suspension and I did the brakes, and now I just did calipers and hoses again, but it was been 20 years. So
well, this my buddies in the club, and they're all, it's a V8 Fiat club.
Oh geez.
Yeah, all of them are V8s.
All LS swapped?
Yeah, well, they had LS. Most of them had LS, but I can't believe they fit that motor down in there. It fits.
I'll tell you the truth. My impression is, I mean, that's a cool. I mean, if you want to get out and rip it, yeah, that's going to be great. But for every day, you upset the balance of that car so much. I think it's too much motor. I always wanted to get like an aluminum Buick V6.
Mm-hmm.
Like, was it 215? And stick that in there. And I know it fits. It fits even better. And I think it would have been, it's a lot lighter, so it would have been a better, because those cars understeer, they plow, the front end plows. So that's why I'm running I run different tire pressures front and rear. And I got my car pretty neutral. I had Chris, my co-host, behind me one time. I love on ramps and off ramps. And he actually was behind me. He said, you know what, you lifted a wheel off the ground on the turn. I'm like, yeah, because I kind of cut the rear springs and I kind of played with the suspension. It's kind of stiff. I said, yeah, there was nowhere else for it to go, man. It had a lift. I said, I felt it.
That's cool.
They're a lot of fun. You could never, you're not going to fit in it.
No, I tried to get in one. The guy was arguing with me. I was like, I can't fit in that. He was like, oh yeah, you can.
No.
I was like, all right. So I showed him.
They have what's called the Italian bus driver's position, and I don't know who coined the phrase, but you need short legs and long arms for the way that the ergonomics is set up. It's kind of crazy, but it's even in the 124 coupe, which they call a coupe. That's all of the Fiats were kind of set up the same way with the driving position, which is very strange. But as just a fun car, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it'd be a hurt thing if I get one.
Yeah. No, a lot of parts available. There used to be about 5 or 6 companies I got stuff from. Now we're down to like maybe to 2, maybe 3. But a lot of the parts, I just got brand new front calipers and braided stainless hoses, and I got a kit to rebuild the drive. It's got a split drive shaft in that little car. But I got the center bearing, the big donut, the U-joints as a kit. I bought motor mounts, master cylinder, and this stuff comes in bags that is with Italian writing on it. I mean, it's coming right from the mother country.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's easier. We talked about parts and how we've been talking about that for the last month or so, how parts are getting hard to find, and even stuff like oil filters. I have an easier time getting Fiat parts right now because they're coming from old stock in Italy, not the United States.
Hmm. Actually, I'm gonna do the not the full interior of my buddy's Fiat. I'm gonna do his door panels and his dash and center console.
Nice. Yeah, cool. Very good. Yeah, I'm watching a video now, watching some guy who's been rebuilding. He just pulled the dash out of his car. He's changing it, and he's doing the console and the whole interior. I had to do mine too. I had to rip the whole. I didn't take the dash out, but I had to rip the interior out because the convertible top had, I guess it had gotten ripped, and there were cats living in the back of the back seat. There's all these claw marks. So there was weather, luckily it didn't rot the floors out, but I had a couple parts cars through the years, so I saved a lot of parts, and I put together an interior. I brought the seats back down to the frames and bead blasted them and painted them, and kind of Frankensteined it. But I bought a new car